Notification of death of my beloved father, Chief Donatius Obiajua Ozurigo. This announcement is from our colleague, Honorable Ugona Ozurigo. In total submission to the will of God Almighty, I write to inform you of the demise of my beloved father, late Chief Ozurigo. He died at the age of 89 years. My late father was a seasoned, respected, and upright civil servant. He served the old and new Imo State in various capacities before his meritorious retirement. He was transition chairman, village local government area, Ebonyi State, in old Imo State, director technical education, Imo State, and transition member, Nwangele local government area of Imo State. It was a rare wisdom. He had rare wisdom and was steadfast in pursuing community development, cohesion, and growth of the church. His demise is a great loss. My family and I will need your prayers and kind words in this period of grief. You may send your condolence messages and tributes through email, minfederalconstituency19@gmail.com. The date of his interment will be communicated to you in due time. Accept my regards of high esteem. Signed, Honorable Ozurigo Ugona. Any petitions? Honorable Chisholm.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Chisholm Promise DK. I represent the good people of Elebe, Oyibo, and Tri-Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Rivers State. Mr. Speaker, before me, and before this House, is a petition from Eleme Indigenous Contractors Forum. Eleme Indigenous Contractors Forum are landlords or host landlords to the Eleme Refinery Company, which is undertaking a reconstruction or rehabilitation by Technomont and partners. Mr. Speaker, my constituents are not happy because the company or the contractor has refused to give the indigenous contractors the 30% local content as enshrined in the Nigerian Oil and Gas Industry Content Development Local Content Act of 2010.
Leader of the House.
Mr. Speaker, my constituents are demanding that this House intervenes and call Technomont and partners and every other relevant stakeholders in the Eleme Refinery reconstruction project to include the host communities and indigenous contractors in the activities, because as we speak, Mr. Speaker, already the contractor has mobilized to site, but has refused to meet with host community and to discuss on how this project is going to be done. As we speak, Mr. Speaker, a lot of activities are going on without the input or consideration of the host community. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I beseech this House, honorable colleagues, to refer this petition to the relevant committee to bring all stakeholders to a roundtable discussion and see how we can amicably resolve this problem. before it turns out to something that will be unbearable. Mr. Speaker, that is the petition, and those that signed the petition is G.K. Abe, Chairman of Elembe Indigenous Contractors Forum, and Silvanus Obaris Sanwe, Secretary of Elembe Indigenous Contractors Forum. Mr. Speaker, by your leave, may I beseech and lay this petition before the House.
Yeah, please lay your petition. Any other petition? Please hit your mic if you have a petition. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Dr. Wole, okay. Congratulations on your doctorate degree. Doctor of Public Accounts.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my fellow colleagues. I am Oluwole Okay. I represent Ijesha North people comprised in Obokunurari local government. Mr. Speaker, I have a petition from a constituent, Mr. Awopechu Adeyinka. He worked with Polaris Bank. Mr. Speaker, this gentleman uncovered a fraud of the sum of 600 million naira committed by the management of Polaris Bank. And on that basis, Mr. Speaker, his appointment was terminated and his life is being threatened. Mr. Speaker, this gentleman has approached this honorable house for justice. With your permission, Mr. Speaker, may I lay this petition?
Yes, please go ahead and lay your petition. Any other? Yes, from yesterday we had
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am Honorable Ibrahim Kunle Olarewaju. I represent the entire board of Moba Ido, the Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I am from Ekiti State. I have a petition from some of my constituents, the Non-Academic Staff Union of Education and Association Institutions, Schools and Colleges of Ekiti State. Their petition is based on the policy of the federal government to increase the age of teachers in primary and secondary school to 65. Mr. Speaker, this association are requesting that this House intervene to ensure that that policy equally is extended to them. Mr. Speaker, I therefore pray that you allow me to lay the petition. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Ryan. Please lay your petition. Any other petition? It's time to refer all petitions to the Committee on Public Petitions. Leader of the, before we go into other matters, Leader of the House.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Respected honorable members, Alhassan Ado Dogwa is my name. Mr. Speaker, I represent the people of Tudunwada, Dogwa Federal Constituency. Honorable members, I'm from Kano State. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I rise to move that the House, pursuant to Order 21, Rule 8, Sub 1 and 2 of the Standing Orders of the House of Representatives, do admit into the chamber the Speaker of the Ghanaian Parliament and his entourage to address the House at 1 p.m.
No, I don't think we are ready for that yet. That will be at 12:45.
So I thought we could take them at the same time and do it and now maybe act upon
I don't even think he's here yet. His address is at 1.
Okay.
So, but I believe we have other. Yeah.
I stand guided, sir. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, item number 2, as stated on the order paper, is for me to move that the House, pursuant to Order 21, Rule 8, Sub 1, 3, 4, and 2 of the standing orders, to admit into the chamber His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Nasarawa State, Engineer Abdullahi A. Sule, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, Senator Umaru Tanko Al-Makura, the former Governor of Nasarawa State, Senator Gudia Okwashiki, Honorable Ahmed Aliyu Wadada, Honorable Mohammed Al-Makura, Honorable Joseph Kibu, State Chairman, Chief John Mamman, State Secretary of the APC, the Aliyu Bello and the Chairman of APC Nasarawa West Senatorial Zone, to witness some important proceedings that is of interest to their state in our today's order paper. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I respectfully move.
Thank you. That's the present governor of Nasarawa and 2 ex-governors and several senators and
Yes,
members.
And 2 former members of this respected house.
Member Wadada and Amakura.
Yes.
Former chairman, I believe, House Services.
House services, sir.
Okay. There's a matter pertaining to their state.
I think they're interested
They want
in
to.
some of our
So
proceedings.
proceedings today. Okay.
Yeah. And
Leader, please, can you second? Please. No, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Your mic, you can, without the mic, go ahead. Go ahead, please. Second, the leader. Second. In the spirit of bipartisanship, second, please. Second, are you,
please,
are
Honorable
you,
Gideon.
no, just second for admission of a governor. Leader, this is from the chair. It's an order from the chair. This is, please second. Please second. Thank you. Honorable Belu, please. Can you observe some decorum? Go ahead, leader. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Those in, Thank you for seconding. Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Leader, please usher them in. Any, Damazal, please go ahead and quickly move your motion. Shamsuddin Damazal, where are you?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise under Order 8, Rule 4.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Mohammed Shamsuddin Bello Dambazo. I represent the agrarian people of Taka Ismaila, Federal Constituency. I am from Kano State.
Well, just make it short and then go straight to the prayers.
I'll make it concise,
Yeah.
Mr. Speaker. Thank you. Urgent need to stop the scourge of cholera outbreak in Kachako, Dambazo, Fajewa, Parurua, Longwami communities under Taka Ismaila Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, there has been a recent cholera outbreak.
Before you go on to moving the motion, can we get a second there? The motion is about the outbreak of cholera in Kano. Any seconder? Honorable Benson. I'm sorry, Honorable Isaka.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Distinguished honorable members, I'm Isiaka Ayokunle Ibrahim. I speak for and on behalf of the good people of Ifor, Ewe Koro Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Ogun State. I rise to second the motion.
Minority Leader, please, you are back in the chair.
Assembly moved by my honorable member because of the importance it carries and safety. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable, well, those who believe this matter is important enough to take, can we please say aye? Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Honorable Damazal, please move your motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, recall that according to journals.polls and online publisher, a report in January 2021, Nigeria is endemic for cholera since 1970, and Kano State reports outbreaks annually with high fatality ratios over the last decade. This study identified cholera hotspots in Kano State between 2010 and 2019. Hotspots appeared both in urban and rural areas. Of recent, within the month of July, cholera outbreak in Kachako, Dambazau, Dirpende, Parurua, Longwami, Fajewa, Huguma, Kwana, Karpi, and Mazakuta communities, all in Takai local government, under Takai's Miller constituency in Kano State, which has led to the death of over 500 people presently in the community. Note that there have been reports of the cholera outbreak in some hotspot communities in Kano State. Not much concerted effort has been made to see the elimination of this disease. Worried that the frequent deaths recorded in the past week has affected the well-being and economic activities and the health conditions of the affected communities with widespread negative consequences. Aware that the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and National Primary Healthcare Development Agency are both established by the acts of the National Assembly and with the mandate to intervene in this situation and help contain the scourge, as well as halt its spread through provision of health and prevention treatment resources. Laments that the continuous spread of the cholera within the aforementioned communities threatens the well-being and health conditions of the communities, but also the generality of Kano State and the Federal Republic by extension. Resolves to urge the House to direct the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and National Primary Healthcare Development Agency to immediately mobilize their manpower and resources to the affected communities to contain the menace and provide necessary assistance. Direct the Committee on Health to submit its reports to the House within 3 days.
Honorable Linda, you are back in the chair.
Thank you. I so submit.
Any amendment? Go ahead. Well, go ahead and second first, and then you can add your amendment as you do that. Well, you second first.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Musa Umar Garu, member representing Gorza Kabo Federal Constituency. I am from Kano State. The prayer should include there is other local governments that involved in this cholera. So they should need to mobilize the personnel to other affected areas in Kano State. I so submit.
Move your amendment. Did you move your amendment? Sorry, I was distracted. Okay, so is there a seconder to the amendment? Any seconder to the amendment? Honorable Duku. I don't even know if you should be seconding this. Your committee has brought a lot of controversy to. Go ahead, Honorable Duku.
I'm Honorable Aisha Jibril Duku, Yimbiel Duku, member representing Dukuna for the Federal Constituency. I rise to second the amendment as moved by my honorable colleague. I so second.
Okay, those in favor of the amendment, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Those in favor, the ayes have it. Those in favor of the motion as amended, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Honorable Emeka, sorry, we have to go back. The House doesn't mind to. Yours is a personal explanation, I believe. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I come under Order 8, Rule 5, under personal explanation. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I need to clear the air on the bill I moved yesterday, which passed the first reading about the Criminal Code Amendment. There has been news flying around the social media saying that I have moved the bill to jail protesters for a period of 5 years. So to put it record straight, I want to state categorically that that is not part of my bill. The bill which I moved yesterday simply states that the objective of the bill is to stop the innocent killing of citizens by mob action. So the bill did not in any way state that they should jail protesters for a period of 5 years. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just want to clear the air. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Mega. I read the same publication, I believe it was by Vanguard, and I was taken aback as well. Let me use this opportunity to once again appeal, like we've always done, to journalists, members of the fourth realm, to be very, very circumspect in their reporting, and to be responsible to actually come down to it in their reporting. I don't think there was even any mention of protesters during when this bill came up yesterday, and I hope that the same Vanguard will responsibly go back and re-report the inaccuracy of what they did. Your personal explanation is duly noted. Honorable Mzondu.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues. My name is Honorable Benjamin Bem Mzondu. I speak for the people of Makudi Guma. We are from Benue State. I also speak for the teeming unemployed youth on whose behalf I rise this morning under Order 8 Rule 4 to bring a matter of urgent public importance on a motion on the need to investigate the compliance of ministries, departments, and agencies of government and corporate bodies with the Industrial Training Fund Act and the underperformance of the funds in the last 12 years. It is on behalf of these teeming unemployed youth that I rise to move this motion this morning.
Honorable Nasser Lalaraba.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Abubakar Hassan Lalaraba is my name. I represent Awedo Makiana Federal Constituency. I rise to second the motion ably moved by my dear brother Ben Zondu. I so second. Thank you.
Motion moved by Honorable Zondu, supported by Honorable Nalaraba. Those who consider this important enough, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Honorable Ben Zondu.
Honorable Sada Soli, resume your seat. Leave our guest alone.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues. The House notes that Section 6(1) and 3 of the Industrial Training Fund Act provides that every employee having either 5 or more employees in his establishment or having less than 5 employees but with a turnover of 50 million and above per
Chief
annum.
Whip, I don't think Honorable Sada heard you. I don't think he heard you.
Honorable Sada Soli, resume your seat. Leave our guest alone.
The leader of the House is exempted. Go ahead.
The leader
is exempted.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. I take it again for want of clarity. The House notes that Section 6(1) and 3 of the ITF Fund Act provide that every employer having either 5 or more than 5 employees in the establishment or having less than 5 employees, but with a turnover of 50 million and above per annum, shall in respect of each calendar year and or the prescribed date contribute to the fund 1% of his total annual payroll. Section 3, any liable organization, public or private, including companies, situated in the free trade zone, requiring approval for expatriate quota or utilizing custom services in matter of export and import must show proof of compliance with this act in respect of payment of training contribution of its employees, and all regulatory agencies of federal government shall ensure compliance with the act as so stated in subsection 6(1) and 3. The House also notes that Section 8(1) and 2 provides that all employers who pay their annual training levies shall, 1, at all times provide adequate training for their indigenous staffs with a view to improving on the skill related to their jobs, and evidence of such training shall be forwarded to the funds. 2, shall accept students for industrial training attachments. 3, any employee who in the breach of this provision of this section shall be guilty of an offense under this act and liable on conviction. The House also is aware that the aim of the Industrial Training Fund is to generate a pool of indigenous trained manpower sufficient to meet the needs of the economy and to stimulate a national industrial growth and development by providing direct training, vocational and apprentice training, research and consultancy services, and student industrial work experience scheme. The House is concerned that subsequent boards and management of ITF in the last decade have complained of inadequate funds to execute these programs due to impediment in obtaining contributions, especially from public institutions and organizations, alleging inconsistencies in remittance, and in most cases, outright non-remittance of funds by MDAs of government and also corporate bodies. The House is also concerned that the former secretary to the government of the Federation had issued several circulars to these MDAs and corporate bodies to comply with the provision of the Industrial Training Fund Act. Yet, most parastatals are still alleged to default, while some claim not to have received such circular. The House is therefore afraid that reports from various sources show that the ITF fund had consistently underperformed, and the skill gap and shortage in the nation's economy is evident in the fact that in the last 10 years, many Nigerians have had to resort to the use of expatriates from Asia and neighboring countries to undertake their technical works, and in building, construction, and industrial sector. Thus, the rate of unemployment keeps skyrocketing and increasing, and the consequence in our nations today is what we see in our security and in the economy. Despite this laudable initiative by the federal government, the House therefore resolved to set up an ad hoc committee to investigate the level of compliance of MDAs and federal government bodies and other corporate bodies and other encumbrances affecting the success of the scheme since 2010, and report back to the House within 12 legislative weeks. I so move.
All right. Are you seconded? Huh? Anyway, before I take a seconder, having heard your motion, like I said, and it's just been drawn to my attention as well, this does not qualify as a motion of urgent public importance under our rules. This is a motion that should have been brought under notice. Again, I've repeated this over and over again. Members should please take note. Please look at our rules, what qualifies as urgent public importance. This is a motion on notice. But because the House is closing in a few days, and there are several motions on notice, perhaps we'll let this one slide. But please note, look at the definition of urgent public importance. If you have any motions, you bring them. Most motions are under notice. And you might want to, after seconding, you might want to amend your prayer of 12 weeks, because the House will not be sitting, neither will any committee, except absolutely important that work needs to be done. No committee will be sitting during our recess, none whatsoever. So you might want to amend your 12 weeks will start from when we resume in September, and that is when I will even announce the names of the committee members. Any seconder? Honorable Ojugwela.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable.
Let him second.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Jimo Olushola Ojubile, member representing Ado Daughter Federal Constituency. I hereby second the motion as moved by the honorable colleague. Thank you, sir.
Okay, I think the motion is pretty straightforward. I don't think we'll take any debate on it unless somebody wants to. Honorable Seka, are you speaking? We don't intend to take any debate on this unless you have something. Are you?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for yielding the floor to me. Honorable Ibrahim Ayakunle Isiaka is my name. I speak for and on behalf of the good people of Ifo, a Weko Federal Constituency. I'm from Ogun State, Mr. Speaker. In this house...
Hold on, please.
Sir? Why ad hoc committee?
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, my worry, quite often times, it's about this our incessant setting up of ad hoc committees. ITF, by the leave of the House, your approval and that of the leadership, is under the Committee on Industry. And I'm aware that that committee, in the last 2-3 weeks, they've been going on oversight. As we speak, they're in Lagos, and they have been to Jos to oversight ITF. If we have any concern, Mr. Speaker, it's supposed to be under that same committee instead of hijacking the function and the assignments given to that committee by another ad hoc committee. It does not give us that much needed respect. If a standing committee is oversighting MDAs, and shortly a week after, the House is setting up another ad hoc committee to go and oversight the same committee, possibly on the same purpose and for the same matter. We are not earning ourselves the needed respect, Mr. Speaker. That's my concern, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. I must, in fairness, I must say that you're absolutely correct. And Honorable Ben, you will testify that when you brought this motion, I told you it was under the purview of the Committee on Industries. And I told you severally over and over and over again until I'm trying not to indict the committee, but you spoke to the committee leadership and they said you should go ahead and that they will work with you. That's what I believe happened. But whether or not it is sufficient for the leadership of that committee to, if they are allowed to waive their rights to another committee, is what I'm not sure about. Well, I'll just put the question so that the House can make a decision on that. That is the purview of a standing committee. But if the standing committee has waived its right, I'm not sure. Yes, you have a position on this.
Respected colleagues, I think my position is just as aptly captured by our colleague. We do not need to have an ad hoc committee on this matter. We should allow the committee to do their work. And following their trend and events that I have seen, they were in Jos about 3 weeks ago, and their activity was adequately captured, including our platform or joint task force. If you are following, you see their pictures, meaning they are doing their function, and so we should not stop them from performing their function. So my take is that we shouldn't go to ad hoc committee, we should allow them to do their job. Thank
Yes,
you,
which was my observation. But what we can do is the mover of the motion can be absorbed if the committee so pleases to do this, to work with them for this particular investigation, since you may have facts known only to you. So we'll put the question, I believe, and the committee can start its work when we resume in September. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Okay, so Honorable Iseka, move your amendment.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for yielding the floor to me again. Honorable Ibrahim Ayokunle Isiaka is my name. I want to appreciate the mover of this wonderful motion, and in the spirit of synergy, I want to move, Mr. Speaker, and I want to stand by him for whatever anything this House wants to investigate. So therefore, the substantive committee, the standing committee, I want to move that the matter be referred to them. And of course, the chairman and the committee members can add it. So I move that the motion is taken over by the Standing Committee on Industry. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Isaka's amendment is that instead of an ad hoc committee, we refer this to the Standing Committee. Any seconder to that? Honorable Oluga.
Right Honorable Speaker, respected colleagues, my name is Representative Taiwo Oluga. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Osun State and I rise this morning to move that the motion as amended by Honorable Isiaka be referred to the Committee on Industry. I so second the amendment, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Those in favor of the amendment, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Oh, who was that? Because there was only one nay. Who was that? Identify yourself. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of the motion as amended, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable colleagues, let us seize this moment to quickly welcome in our midst the Governor of Nasarawa State, His Excellency Engineer Abdullahi A. Sule, former Governor Senator Abdullahi Adamu, Senator Umaru Tanko, Al Makura, and several others that have been announced by the House Leader and that here with us this morning. I'm not quite sure why they're here to observe today's proceedings, but I'm going to go ahead and welcome them. You are welcome to the chambers, and it's good to have you to observe how we toil daily for the Nigerian people and how our democracy works. It's good to have you here to observe. Thank you very much. Henry, like I said, I don't know why the keen interest in observing our proceedings today, but I'm going to read a letter here for me. Might be a coincidence or might be by design that they're here. I have a letter from Honorable Gaza Jonathan, the Speaker, Right Honorable Femi Gbadagbiamila, House of Representatives, National Assembly, Abuja, letter of defection. I wish to inform the House of my defection to leave the People's Democratic Party for the All Progressive Congress. This is due to a division of the party in my state, evidenced by the prolonged court cases. Remain assured of my highest regards, Honorable Gaza Jonathan. I still cannot even believe what is going on. This is one of our strong members, one of our very, very, very strong members of this House, an astute legislator, an accomplished politician, a wonderful gentleman who is writing to leave the PDP for the APC. Congratulations, please bring him.
Mr. Speaker, this is mother of all defections.
Yes.
This is millennium defection.
It's a big fish. Where is the minority leader? He's not on his seat. Minority leader. The minority leader is nowhere to be found. I thought he would have a point of order.
The minority leader is missing in action. He's missing in action.
Well, he was here a minute ago before the defection. What happened?
Yeah,
He's gone to the bathroom. It's the toilet. Thank you, Your Excellencies. Thank you very much.
Mr. Speaker, the minority leader banished to Loco in Nasarawa State. Is banished to Loco in Nasarawa State.
that you should use this one.
Testing.
Please.
Testing.
One house, please. One house, please. Honorable members, please take your seats. Members, please take your seats. Honorable members.
Testing.
Please, members, take your seats, please. One house, please.
I'm busy. Honorable colleagues, please, can you have your seats?
Thank you so much.
Leader.
We are going to admit a speaker of the Ghanaian Parliament. So the house should be in order.
That's what I'm saying now. I'm calling them to order.
Please.
Honorable colleagues, please, can you have your seat? Honorable Samsudin, please, can you disembark and take your seat? Honorable Nali, tell the person to sit down. He should sit by your side.
Thank you. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Thank you, honorable members.
Honorable colleagues, we are about to usher in our guests.
Mr. Speaker.
We're about to usher in our guests from Ghana, including the Speaker of the Ghanaian Parliament. Please let us observe quiet and some manner of decorum when we have our guests, parliamentarians from another country coming in. Please. We have parliamentarians and the Speaker of Parliament about to come in. Please let us observe some quiet, and they're coming to observe proceedings, and the Speaker of the Ghanaian Parliament will be addressing us. We cannot do that under conditions where we're walking around, there's noise. Please. Go ahead, Leader.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Honorable members, Al-Hassan Ado Dogwa is my name. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I represent the people of Tudunwada, Dogwa Federal Constituency in Kano State.
Please.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I rise to move that the House, pursuant to Order 21, Rule 8, Sub 1 and 2 of the Standing Orders of the House of Representatives, do admit into the chamber the Speaker of the Ghanaian Parliament and his entourage to address the House at this material time. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I so move.
Thank you. Honorable Ataka, please second. Honorable Ataka Adekoya, please second.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, my name is Right Honorable Adesegun Abdul Majid Adekoya, representing Ijebu North, Ijebu East, of Waterside Federal Constituency. I rise to second the motion ably moved by the leader. I also second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Please, can we bring our guests in? Leader. Sorry, is Honorable Nwokolo here? Nwokolo. Honorable colleagues, the third business of the day, whilst we wait, the third business of the day is presentation of 11 bills. I now invite the clerk to read their short titles. Clerk.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, National Agricultural Raw Materials Processing Center, Ngokpala Establishment Bill 2021, first reading. National Directorate of Employment Act Amendment Bill 2021, first reading. Chartered Institute of Laws Adjusters Bill 2021, first reading. Chartered Institute of Actuaries Bill 2021, first reading. Federal Institute of Vocational and Technical Education, ABAC, Akwa Ibom State Establishment Bill 2021, first reading. Federal Institute of Fisheries Research, Cocoa Establishment Bill 2021, first reading. Federal Capital Territory Property and Land Use Charge Bill 2021, first reading. Youth Entrepreneurship Development Trust Fund Establishment Bill 2021, first reading. Regulation and control of indoor and outdoor signage, hoarding and advertisement in the Federal Capital Territory Bill 2021, first reading. National Commission for Museums and Monuments Act Amendment Bill 2021, first reading. Federal University of Health Sciences Ijebu-Ode Establishment Act Amendment Bill 2021, first reading.
The fourth business of the day is presentation of report of the Committee on AIDS, Loans and Debt Management on the request for a resolution authorizing the implementation of the new external borrowing of 2.343 trillion in the 2021 Appropriation Act through the issuance of Eurobond in the international capital market, standing in the name of Honorable Ahmed Diabo Safana. Honorable members will recall that the matter was referred to the committee on Tuesday, 6th June 2021. The report is ready for presentation. Honorable Safana is invited to present the report. Chairman, business here. Chairman, business and rules. I don't think Honorable Safana, I think he has to step this down.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, Honorable Safana is short on the floor. I move that the consideration of his report be stepped down by the leave of the House. So, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah, the matter is stepped down. Fifth business of the day is presentation of report on the Committee on Tertiary Education and Services on a bill for an act to establish Federal College of Education in Nasarawa State, Kina in Nasarawa State, to provide full-time courses, teaching, instruction, and training in technology, applied science, and social sciences, humanities, and management, and to provide for appointment of the provost and other officers of the college to carry out the administration and disciplining of students of the college and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Aminu Suleiman. Honorable members will recall that the bill was referred to the committee on Wednesday, 4th December 2019. Honorable Suleiman is invited to present the report.
It's not there. Maybe they
step down.
Mr. Speaker, ditto, Honorable Aminu Goro is not on the floor. I move that the consideration of this bill be stepped down by the leave of the House. I so move.
The matter is stepped down. The first order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to alter the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. Okay, this is going to lead to a debate. We'll come back to it because I think we have a guest here now. Perhaps we'll just finish this. First order of the day is a commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to alter the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended to empower the National Assembly and State House of Assembly to make laws to redress social, economic, educational, and other imbalances in the society and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Linda Ikpeazu. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read first time on Thursday, 20th of May, 2021, and I invite Honorable Ikpeazu to move that the bill be now read a second time.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I'm Linda Chuba Ikpeazu, member representing Onisha Northern South Federal Constituency. I'm from Anambra. Mr. Speaker, may I move that a bill for an act to alter the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended to empower the National Assembly and the State Houses of the Assembly to make laws to redress social, economic, educational, or other imbalances in the society and for related matters be read a second time.
Well, do we have a seconder for Honorable Abonta?
I remain Uzoma Nkem Abonta, Mr. Speaker, I'm from Abia State. I rise to support that the bill being proposed by Honorable Linda Ikpeazu be read for the second time. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Linda.
Okay. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, we are presented with another opportunity to better the lives of Nigerians by ensuring we address imbalances in our society through the ongoing constitutional review. Imbalances of any kind, Mr. Speaker, particularly those that relate to social, economic, and education, have the propensity, Mr. Speaker, to slow down societal development and impinge on the quality of government institutions. These imbalances have the possibility of undermining social cohesion while endangering political stability. It is a known fact, Mr. Speaker, that society keeps evolving and change is an integral part of life. Since the enactment of the present Constitution, we've had a few amendments. What this amendment seeks to do, Mr. Speaker, is to further strengthen the powers of the legislators. Section 42, Mr. Speaker, that this bill seeks to amend, basically just talks about addressing the imbalances as earlier espoused. And what it now does is to make sure that provides a provision in this constitution that makes it possible for one not to challenge the power to make legislations, especially when you have to or you need to address certain social, societal or social issues that might come up. So, for example, in section 17 of the Nigerian Constitution, Mr. Speaker, talks about equality, non-discrimination. So there are certain legislations that you will do that will contravene that section 17. So what this section 42 does is just to empower us to make laws to actually address the issues that concern the Nigerian citizens. So it's a straightforward amendment, Mr. Speaker. So I plead and urge members to so support, because our primary goal here is to make laws for the people, and those laws must affect the lives of the people positively. So I seek your support so that this particular amendment that is very important to us as legislators will be passed. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Is there anybody speaking against? want to add to what she said? Go ahead, Honorable Abonta.
Of course, the third wife. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain Uzaman Kime Bonta. Mr. Speaker, I will not mind the distractions coming behind. I will proceed to vote. I want to lend my voice to this amendment, Mr. Speaker, constitutional requirements, constitutional amendment. The bill ordinary is simply asking for justiciability of Section 2. This bill is also asking for a kind of devolution of power according to your power. Should the state be able to do a justiciable bill, law, that will meet the social demands, that section of constitution should not forbid that state. Mr. Speaker, for example, I know that Lagos will not die. They can do all. They may decide to do a law that is justiciable, which is part of Section 2. But the Constitution as it is now forbids them to even do that when they have capacity to do that. So this bill is asking to liberalize that so that we don't use that non-justiciability to do continued social evils when it is possible. Therefore, I will suggest strongly that this bill goes to the Constitutional Amendment so we can look at it. Gradually we'll get there and see what section, what effort, what part of justiciability we can be able to put within the system. I therefore suggest that this bill goes to the second reading, that Nigeria will have opportunity to have a greater say. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Clerk.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to alter the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, to empower the National Assembly and State Houses of Assembly to make laws to redress social, economic, educational, or other imbalances in the society, and for related matters. Second reading.
This matter is referred to the Special Ad hoc Committee on Review of the 1999 Constitution. Honorable colleagues, at this point, it gives me great pleasure to announce with us today for a historic visit the Speaker of the Ghanaian Parliament, Right Honorable Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin, who is here accompanied by his wife and several other parliamentarians and officials. You will recall, honorable colleagues, that sometime last year, the incessant problem we've had with our neighbors, with our neighbors, which threatened to affect the relationship, very strong ties between Nigeria and Ghana, necessitated by embarking, with the blessing of this House, on what we've come to term legislative diplomacy between myself and the then Speaker to see how we could address the issues affecting the two countries. As I reported back to you, the trip was very fruitful. It was a great success, and I believe strides have been made since then to restore brotherly and friendly relationship between the two countries, and it is ongoing. And I believe this is part of the reason, in continuation of that visit, that the Speaker, Right Honorable Bagbin, or the new Speaker, should I say, who took over from his predecessor, who I met, him and I have continued that relationship, and is here in furtherance of securing the relationship and the bond between the two companies through Parliament. I welcome him and his team. Interestingly, Right Honorable Bagbin and I share a very similar, very almost uncanny, a very similar trajectory. I believe in Ghanaian parliamentary history, he remains the only one that has occupied the position of leader of the opposition in parliament. He was minority leader, he was majority leader thereafter, and now he is the speaker of the parliament. We share that in common. And he will be addressing us today, which is historic in itself, to have him address Parliament today on sundry matters. You are very welcome, Right Honorable. Enjoyed dinner with you yesterday. We look forward to dinner tonight. I will, at this point, ask that the leader of the House please read the citation of the Right Honorable Bagbin, after which he will take the floor and address this august body. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, Mr. Speaker, if you can step up, please.
Yes, sorry. Right Honorable Speaker, as you can take the podium.
I thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Honorable Femi Pajabia Mila, the Sadauki Nyauri, the Speaker of the Federal House of Representatives. I rise in my capacity, Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, as the leader of the blessed Ninth House of Representatives, to read on behalf of this House the citation of the Right Honorable Alban Sumana Kingsport Bagbin, Speaker of the 8th Parliament, the Parliament of Ghana. Right Honorable Alban Sumana Kingsport is the Speaker of the 8th Parliament of the 4th Republic of Ghana and second in line for the presidency, right after the Vice President of Ghana. Now famously referred to as the number 3 in Ghana, Bagbin's election to the office of the Speaker on the 7th of January 2021 is historic, as he becomes the first person to occupy the office of the Speaker from an opposition political party. The Right Honorable Alban Bagbin defeated the government's nominee for the office of the Speaker of the 8th Parliament, Professor Aaron Mike Okwe, who was also the incumbent Speaker. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, Honorable Bagbin was born on September 24, 1957,